Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hope everyone's doing well. We're going to have Brickanista joining us in just a second. If this is your first time watching, I am Joriel Builds, Joriel_builds, and we are catching up on the hashtag Daily Brick Limit Challenge. It's been a fantastic challenge so far, and it's really inspired a lot of creativity. So we're excited that you're participating, and we're excited to sort of catch you up on everything that's going on. So without further ado, let's get Brickanista in here. One moment.
Oh no, is my camera not working?
No, it's not. I was expecting my wonderful co-sponsor, and instead
Oh
I'm seeing a
man.
blizzard.
Okay, let me try another phone.
All right,
That's
all
a
right.
bummer.
No
Okay, well,
problem.
wait a minute. Before you do that, let me see if it's my phone. There it is. Hey,
Hey,
it's
awesome.
my
There we go.
phone.
Problem solved. Hi, Rick Brickham. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Rick Brickham, how are you?
The awesome builds have continued. Rick Brickham's been with us since the beginning. Lady of the
Yes.
Legos, we're glad that you're here, that you're joining us today.
Hey.
Glad that we
Yeah,
made it work.
yes, I know. It's amazing. It's the 24th, so we literally have 7 days left.
Yes.
7 days, and then we wrap up the daily brick limit, and it's just been amazing. And I think for me, it's the personal stories that have come out of this that have been just heartwarming. And I wanted to do a shout out to What a Slacker, because her
Yeah.
builds, I've been following them, and then she posted her personal story along with the tombstone with the little minifig with the flowers. And I just wanted to say, we're with you. Your whole AFOL community is with you. So thank you for sharing that. That means so much.
It was very touching, and I'll admit, when I scrolled past that build, I stopped in my tracks. And we're grateful that this can be a storytelling outlet for everyone. What a slacker! It's been nice to follow the story's progression here, and then finally get to some of the meaning out of it, and see
Mm-hmm.
what more meaning there was to it. Um,
Yeah,
Everyone
it's
that's
really
tuning in tonight,
touching.
it's been fun just watching the progression of builds for the past 3 weeks, and here we are, like you said, going into the last 7 days of it. So this is
Seven more
our
days.
yes, this is
Yeah.
our
So
launching off point.
if you haven't finished 10, you have 7 days to do whatever is left over. And I think we've been pretty good about trying to say, hey, if you're here for the contest, you got one more build to do. So make sure that, and some of you are doing this just because you're having fun too, which is fine. You don't have to be obligated to do 10, but if you do want to qualify for the drawing, and I have two of the kits here. So here's the one with the Mario, the, was it the Monty Mole,
Yep.
Monty
Monty
Mushroom?
Mole.
Monty Mole. You could tell I don't know I don't know my my Mario very well. And then here's the Duke Kaboom stunt show. So we've got those two as prizes
And
that
the
we will be. And Commodore Kopuka is here, and the Blessed. Thank you. ABC Builds. Hey, how's it going, Donnie? Good to see you.
I saw Chief Brick Geek join a little earlier as well.
Yes. Hey, Chief Ricky.
The third prize, of course, is also the Lego City Barbecue Burnout set. So we have those three prizes that are you could be in the running to win from our giveaway drawing. Welcome, Brick
Rick
Miscellany.
Miscellany.
Glad that you're here. Um, we're really excited to do our drawing because we can't. I mean, like we've built this like personal connection over Instagram with everybody through their builds, and we're just excited to see who those three sets are going to go to.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a reminder on the official at Daily Brick Limit Instagram account, which if you're not following, please do, because that's where we're keeping up with everyone's posts, and you'll be able to watch a highlight reel of every day's builds. But I posted a reminder there just of some of the things that we're looking for to put your name into the giveaway drawing. And I think I've seen a lot of people trying to catch up with some of those. So if you're maybe tuning in for the first time for one of our weekly update streams, just make sure you're following the two of us,
because that's the best way for us to keep up with you guys and to follow along with your builds and to reach out to each other. So that's the first thing. Second thing is please tag every entry with hashtag daily brick limit, because that's how we find all the posts. And then thirdly, we wanted you to tag at some point, tag 3 friends, just so we can get as many people into it as possible. And we wanted you also to complete at least 10 entries for the month. So if this is the first week that you're joining, then you're welcome to go back and try to catch up on some of those builds. But if you maybe even just did the first 10 days of the month and then pieced out, you're still eligible. So check those 4 things and you'll be put in the drawing for one of our prizes.
Yeah, and it is truly a global phenomenon. I was on a sort lug call on Friday night, Saturday morning, and one of the people from Australia had been asking about, do you know who's sponsoring the Daily Brick Limit Challenge?
That's us.
I'm one of them. That's me
Yeah.
and Joriel Builds. And I put it in the chat and people were saying, yeah, we heard about this. And so we still have to brainstorm, Joriel Builds and I, about what's the next step after this, because we've received so many positive comments about this and how there's some, how can we continue this? Because clearly we're not going to be able to do every single day of the year. But
Right.
we would like your ideas. How would you like us to keep together as a community? Because it's been just amazing.
And I'm glad that you brought that up. The hashtag will always be there and the account will always be there. So if you build something, if you choose to follow this on your own, just make sure to tag at Daily Brick Limit and hashtag Daily Brick Limit so that we can keep up with that and use the Daily Brick Limit account to share what you build with other people. But just to answer Chief Brick Geek's comment, one of the things that Brickanista and I have been talking about is using each month, pick a holiday out of that month and use that day as like a daily brick limit type thing. So like, for example, February coming up, use the month of February and everybody submit your 14 brick Valentine's Day themed builds, something like that.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have another couple of months out of the year where we do the full month, but in between those, we'd like to do some smaller challenges that are maybe related to the holidays that come up in each month. And in addition to that, we'll also be using that account to feature some of you guys and all of your builds from this month. So if you participated in this month, there's going to be a week coming up in the coming weeks where I'll be reaching out to you just to say, hey, this week we'd love to feature your builds on our account and spend the whole week just featuring what you did. Are you up for that or not? And that's a couple things we'll do to keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. And I was even thinking while you were talking about February 14th, there's a lot of people doing February 14th, in different challenges. So maybe we might even add a twist. Maybe we do the 13th. What are you doing to prepare for the 14th? And do both of those, because you always see, the hearts and the flowers and everything on Valentine's Day, but what's happening in your mind the day before? Like, are you rushing to the supermarket? Are you getting that last card? Are you calling people? So you like that idea? Yeah, maybe we should do 2 days. We should do the 13th and the 14th.
like you talked
those
about,
would be funny.
So much of what's made this challenge fun this month has been the storytelling that's come out of it. And it's okay, everybody puts on their best Instagram face all the time. We always put our best Valentine's Day build out for the 14th. What's the behind the scenes of that?
Exactly.
What's like, sort of like you're saying, like, what's the story of the minifigure running to the store to get the bouquet of flowers at the last minute,
Yeah.
So that's
I think
cool.
we should do that. I think we should do both the 13th and the 14th. So it's almost like a combination submission. So you tell us what's leading up to the 14th and then what actually happened on the 14th. Oh, Sack Brick Guy is here. I was just tuned into his Twitch stream.
Ooh,
so
nice.
Welcome. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you for taking time to tune into our stream after running your own all afternoon.
He was on for over 4 hours building Assembly Square.
Cannolis.
And I told him, I'm sorry, I gotta go. I gotta get on this 8 o'clock with Joriel Build. So thank you, welcome. And we were just talking about for February. In fact, maybe we should just declare it that, we probably won't have a prize around it, but we'll probably still do, the 13th, preparing for the 14th. And what is it that you have on the 14th for Valentine's Day?
Welcome, Aubrey Kovacs.
Aubrey, hey, how are you? Good to see you.
The thing that this has really helped me to focus on are what are some ways, and we've talked about this before, but what are some of the ways that you can give yourself limitations to help focus your imagination in the right direction instead of looking at all of your bricks and thinking, what the heck am I supposed to build? We've all, in our own way, after going through our own builds, learned something about how to use a limitation in our favor to inspire creativity. And I think that that's the true spirit of it, moving forward. So, whether there's a prize or not, whether we do an entire month or not, even if it's just for the month of February, we're going to take these 2 days, and here is your limit, even if it's not necessarily the calendar day, the day that's doing the limiting, pull out a set and do a re-break or something like that. But it's creativity through constraint.
I would love to see a stop motion one too, that maybe
Yes.
in a future month we might give people time to prepare. We've had a lot of people do stop motion animations, or even not necessarily stop motion, but like a slideshow where you show different still shots leading up to your story. And it would be great to have maybe one of our months where we pick a couple days and we say, do a slideshow or do an animation for this particular day. And it gives people time to prepare. So
Commodore
we're working
Kopaka is
ideas.
here, and just a shout out to him, Commodore Kopaka, for
Yes.
his explorations into stop motion this month. That's inspired me, and it's one more way to use it and to tell stories with the medium, and it's been fun to watch. So.
Oh, amazing. And I also just wanted to tell everybody, even if you don't win a prize, I think the best thing about this was the community that we built, because I know that there's several people that are in many parts of the world. And as I was mentioning, this random person that I met at a SortLug meeting said, yeah, we're trying to figure out where that came from. It's like,
Yeah.
I can tell you exactly where the Daily Brick Limit came from. So
Yeah,
tell
you
your
were there.
friends too. Yeah, tell your friends that you were part of one of the first launches of the Daily Brick Limit, and all of you, because of your enthusiasm and your support for each other. As you probably noticed, we're not able to comment on every single build. It's just been overwhelming. We have been trying so hard, but I know some of you, at least hopefully you've heard comments from us on a few of your builds, if not all of your builds. But please help each other out by giving each other comments, supporting each other. If you saw something that really inspired you, please let them know, because I'm sure that being able to do this. Oh, Viva Lego's here.
Welcome, Viva
Hey,
Lego.
Viva Lego.
We're thrilled
I
you're
will
here.
say, the only, if I got the stats right, the only Lego Master USA person to do every single day of this month. So, woo! Congratulations.
No, we're grateful that you're aboard for the ride, and it's been a joy to see your builds every day. Legitimately, it's brought both of us a whole lot of joy, and your pictures of every build are just so excellent, and it's just been a lot of really fun creativity. So thank you for taking part. It's been amazing.
Yeah. And I'll do a shout out for Viva Lego too, because he's working on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mock as well, and I'm very interested in that, because I have been working on Super Sewer Baby, as you know, and somebody mentioned that I need to have a mashup where Super Sewer Baby meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I definitely want to pick your brain a little bit about that. So
thank you, Chief Brick Geek. We appreciate, like Brickanista was saying, we appreciate you guys doing some of the commenting, because it's like you were also talking about, the community has been one of the best things about this. It's awesome when we're feeling like overloaded with all of the posts, and we want to do our best to comment and give every build the attention that it deserves. It's great to scroll past a build and see that there's already 10 comments on it because you guys have just been being supportive of each other. And that's great for us to see. And it makes all of this worth it. So
it's been heartwarming too. And I think, as I mentioned
welcome,
earlier,
Steinman Zachary.
Oh, Steinman Zachary. Hey. Yeah, we were just talking about how the personal stories that have come out of this, and other people have mentioned things like, I haven't been working on my Lego until now. And now that we're doing this, we get the whole family involved. And regardless of the prize, they've just been encouraged of just having this to do. And I think just seeing the wide range of topics that come up and the techniques that have come up, I think it's just, for me, it's really stretched my mind of different ways that I could participate to more in the future. So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, for sure. One thing we've talked about a couple of times as well is, what is harder, the earlier days of the month or the later days of the month? And, at first you sort of think that like, trying to actually tell a story with 1 or 2 or only 3 bricks would be the harder thing to do. And I think that the constraints being tighter on those make them a more interesting challenge. But I think that now that we're well into the 20s, I think that we're all discovering sort of what makes those higher numbers of brick limits more difficult and challenging in its own different way. Like, I think I've seen some of the earlier participants start to drop off a little bit in the 20s, and I've started to fall behind myself. But we've also picked up some new people who are participating for the first time since we hit the 20s, and that's been really cool to see. So if you're logging on or you're watching this for the very first time because you just started this week, we're thrilled that you're here, and we want you to keep up with it. So,
hey, Remy, Avernus Workshop, great to have you here.
Yeah, welcome Dog Food Bricks as well.
Yeah, and I think too that one of the things you were talking about, is it harder when you have more bricks, or is it, with fewer bricks? And I think the other thing that I've found is that there's been like this, I don't know if it's collective consciousness or just some people think the same way. Like you were talking last time about the turntable. 2 people did the turntable on the same day. And then somebody else did a fishing one. And somebody said, I was going to do that, but I'm going to change my mind now. And I just think it also shows you that a lot of our builds are very positive, but also we have this synergy within the community, which I really love. So thank you so much for sharing all of that.
Welcome, Lego Coffee. I might have said this before, but while you're here, I love your profile picture so much. That Lego coffee cup with the steam coming off of the top.
Yes.
It just makes me happy every time I see it.
Yeah, and then it says, Rickham, you said you think for you it's because you find it hard to keep the creativity train going. Well, I think the other thing that I've noticed, and I think Steinman Zachary, mentioned this in one of his posts, is that you'll start on something for your build, for your piece count build, and then it'll be completely different, and it's way more than whatever the piece count is. So you said, you know what, I'm going to keep this because this is really cool, and I'm going to still do my piece count, but then because you had started with the piece count, you ended up with this beautiful thing. And I think Princess Buttercup too in Australia, she had started on something and then this amazing robot came out of it. And the robot was not part of her piece build, but she ended up doing something else. So I think that's something. Oh, that happened to you too, lady of the Legos, as far as, creating something. And I think that's another thing to keep in mind, is that definitely at the end of the month, go back and reflect on all the 31 builds you may have made, or 10 builds, or however many, and look at how that evolved. Because sometimes it was you listen to a song and then, this song reminded you of something. And that will help you too in the future as you start thinking about, what am I going to build for my next mock? It's great.
If anyone's watching and has any questions about anything, while we're all together here, please feel free to ask in the comments, because we don't want anybody having any questions or being any confused about anything. Right. So
especially because it's the last week too.
Yeah, because after this, our next stream after this, we'll probably do a wrap-up stream, and then we are going to be doing our prize drawing stream. And that one's going to be a little bit different. And we'll let you know well in advance when that's happening. It's not going to be a 30-minute heads up like our previous streams have been, because that one we want to make sure
We'll
that
give you-
everybody who wants to know knows when it's happening and is able to tune in ahead of time. So in the coming weeks or in the coming days, just be on the lookout, and we'll post it on all three of the accounts, the Brick Limit account, my account, Brickanista's account, so everybody knows when we're doing the prize drawing, and then try to get as many participants logged on at once as possible. So
Right. Yeah.
that's been one of our recent milestones, is surpassing the 100 participant mark, and that was exciting.
Yeah, we did, and also the kids that have been involved too. Really appreciate the families who have participated in this, and we've worked really hard to make sure we recognize also the kids that have been involved in this. And I think we learned a lot just from looking at how the kids brought their own perspective into this. So thank you so much for just being involved and keeping a positive note to the start of this year, which has already started kind of in a strange way, but we have a nice positive community here. So let's keep it that way.
And that's what, like, getting back into Lego has been for me, for Ariel, has been, and I think for a lot of us, was, okay, I'm going into lockdown and I need something to keep me happy and positive and to uplift me on a daily basis. And it's just become like sort of therapeutic. And I hope the same for anyone that's watching, is that this can be a hobby that can help take your mind off of things at the end of the day. And I know sometimes I just have like, man, I just need to get home and do my 25 brick build, and then I'll be happy. So
yeah, and I also think too that for me, like you said about the therapy and hearing each other's stories as we start building, and then when I'm done with the month, there have been some days where it's 11 o'clock p.m. and I know I've got to get my build done. And I think at my last post, I said, if I had taken the time to put a spaceship backdrop, like a starry night or something, that would make this so much better. So my hope is that some of you will do the same thing, is go back to your builds, see what you can do to make it even better. And then also, that would be a great thing to repost, is you can say, okay, I know the month is over, but I really wanted to improve this with either more bricks or a better backdrop or motion or whatever it is that you wanted to do. So please keep that in mind as well.
Rick Brickham is talking about how he loves the diversity of the creativity, to see how many different perspectives and stories have come from it. It's definitely inspiring. Yes. And it's we've talked a lot about the surprising commonalities that have turned up over the course of the challenge, but the diversity of the creativity is absolutely one of the strong points of having a community to participate, in. And that goes for Tricky Lug, that goes for any lug you might be a part of, that goes for even just you and your friends group. Welcome, Brick Princess Buttercup.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about you. We were talking about your robot.
Yeah, it's the joy of creating with the community, is being able to collaborate and share different ideas and see different ideas. And I know we've all thought this a lot, but man, it's been just so cool to see how different people have approached the same thing with different perspectives, and we've gotten different results, all based off of the same rules. So it's exciting.
Right. And Brick Princess Buttercup, since you're here, another thing that I'd like to encourage other people to do, and I know you've been reaching out to other people to collaborate, that if you find somebody that you have a similar type of, philosophy, or you just seem to build in a very cohesive way that seems to work together, feel free to reach out to each other. In fact, that's kind of how Joriel Builds and I ended up partnering on this, is because we had similar ideas about the super baby builds that we were working on. and so he reached out to me and Brickworm and some others about doing this brick limit back in August. And I'm really glad we partnered again to do this time in January. So thank you. And please, people, please reach out to each other. Keep this going and collaborate with each other.
We're glad that you've been enjoying it. We've been adoring your builds. So, it goes both ways.
Yes, it's been very sweet.
I think one of the moments where I really felt like I caught that inspiration bug from other people Welcome, Jake Sadovich. We're glad that you're
Jake
here.
Sadovich.
This is
Hey,
awesome.
welcome.
One moment where I felt really inspired was when Lego Space Geek-S joined the challenge, and her idea has been to do a ice planet ice planet themed builds, classic Lego ice planet theme
Hmm.
and I've really enjoyed seeing all the different like sort of sub themes that people have followed and or some of the sub themes that they've created themselves to create some cohesion from one build to the next. But I was just like really intrigued with the ice planet builds that they were doing. And like it taught me something about Lego because I was watching, day after day these ice planet themed builds and I'm like, oh, so that's how Ice Planet works, is you have white bricks and blue bricks and like translucent red bricks and like putting them together. That's where that aesthetic comes from, Like I've never really
Hmm.
stopped to think about what makes an Ice Planet build an Ice Planet build. And
Oh,
after
yeah.
watching, for a few posts, I was like, okay, I think I get it. That's really cool. So let me try that. And so now I'm on this really big kick with like trying to build something with like a three-tone color scheme because Lego Space Geek-S like inadvertently taught me that like that's how Lego puts their sub themes together, is
Hmm.
picking like a color scheme or a limited color palette and rolling with it that way. And it's
Right.
it's been cool to see where other people's creativity not only inspires us but teaches us something about the hobby that we all already think that we know. So
Yeah, and you were mentioning about inspiring each other and appreciating each other's builds. Lady of the Legos, yes, I agree. I love the three blind mice builds that Brick Princess Buttercup did, and Viva Lego is excited about sharing the 20, was it tomorrow's build and the 31st. And I want to do a shout out to Ms. Flu Brickta too, because every day she's done something appreciation day. So one of
yes,
them was Eat a Pie Day. And National Appreciate a Squirrel Day or something like
talk
that.
about educating with your challenge.
Yes, it was so much fun just seeing that. Trans orange chainsaws. Okay, I missed that. When did the trans orange chainsaws take place?
Welcome,
And
Fabian.
Steinmetz, you're all over the place. Hey, Fabian. Yeah, I think me too, Steinmetz Zachary. If you look at my builds, I mean, sometimes I've done animals, sometimes I've done spaceships, sometimes, I've just done quirky little artwork, and it just whatever happens to come into your mind. So, yeah, I think it's just great. And that's part of the reason why we didn't put a theme behind this month's builds. And if you do have some ideas for future things too, please let us know. I know that you could certainly send me a direct message as well as Joriel Builds if you have an idea. And I know that we're already talking about, for those of you who just joined, we're talking about for February, in addition to February 14th, Valentine's Day, we want you to do something for February 13th for what is the behind the scenes leading up
Yes.
to the 14th. So what are you doing? Are you scrambling to get a bouquet? Are you, on the computer ordering something online? You ask everyone every day, daily for ideas of what to build.
That's
Oh, that's
awesome.
cool.
I'm,
Yeah.
you said earlier that you're excited for your 31st build. So do you have your 31st build done already? I'm really interested to see from everyone watching just in the comment section, like, do you have your final day planned or maybe even built already? Because I think I have the next few days, I don't have anything, but I have a build with 28 bricks on it in it that I've been sitting on since like January 3rd. So like I've been waiting for the 28th to hit, and I think that some of us, we build something and then we count the pieces and we're like, okay, I'll save that for this day. And that's been one of the strategies to approach it. So
Mhm.
I have no idea what I'm going to be doing for the last day of the month. So I'd be really curious to see if anybody else has their 31st already figured out.
Well, Viva Lego says he builds every day. And then Lady of the Legos, you just build what comes to mind of the day. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way as you, Lady of the Legos, because like the last one I just did, the spaceship, I was looking at all the other cool spaceships and I said, I have this boat hull I think I'm going to start with the bow hole and just kind of move from there. You have an idea for the 31st that haven't started. Usually you build the build day of. Yes. As I mentioned, I built sometimes at 11 o'clock at night. Knowing I have 1 hour to not only build it, because you also have to take the photo and then post it too. And things go day to day. Yeah, day to day for you too, Richard.
And that was part of the original intent. Again, if you missed our first couple of streams, you know, part of the thing that started this challenge was just, you know, the original one was this previous August, and now we're doing it again here. The original intent was everyone's going back to school, life's about to get more complicated. How can I find a way to sort of organically portion out my monthly building, you know, a little bit more in a more easy way and spread it out so that I'm building a little bit every day, but not overdoing it or taking up too much time with it. So it also sort of becomes a daily build time limit, which might be another interesting challenge. You know, another interesting way to approach the challenge is like, okay, this time you have to see what you can build. No limit to the number of bricks, but on the first day of the month, what can you build with a 1 minute time limit? What can you build on the second day of the month with a 2 minute time limit?
The daily brick time limit
might be an interesting twist on it.
Spin that you only get so many minutes to work on your build. Oh, that's interesting.
It might be an interesting approach.
Like brick miscellany goes day by day, and you have an idea for the 31st that you haven't started yet. Okay, cool. And day by day for Rick Brickham, and then you're too impatient to keep ideas, you build that day. Okay,
nice.
That's great.
Welcome to Brick Stop.
UTSA, you wing it day by day. Yeah, that's like me. I do the same thing. And you might get lucky and you might have, yeah, that's what happened with my pendulum build for, I think, 20 pieces. That was supposed to be 18 pieces, but I liked it so much, I just kept it. I said, I'll do that later. So yeah, sometimes you get lucky with that.
Yeah.
You do the same thing most days.
If
Start at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and you post by midnight. Okay.
Some
you and I probably need to
brickers.
collaborate on something. Yeah.
Just to pick everyone's brain, welcome Brick Huntress. We're so
hey,
glad
Brick
that you're
Huntress.
joined. We have loved seeing your entries for this challenge so far, for sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, that little cozy cabin was adorable.
And wow, your mosaics are something special. So it's been an honor that you've participated because your mosaic skills are out of this world. We have a lot of new viewers tonight and this week. And I know I've already asked this several times, but I just don't want to miss anyone. If you're watching for the first time, let us know in the comments what country you're posting from. Because I think we are up to 7 with our previous count. But at the end of this, we want to pull as many fun facts about this challenge as possible together, just to really honor the scope that has come out of this. And we don't want to leave anybody out. We want to make sure everyone who's been posting has their bricks counted, their builds counted, and your country represented too. Because on our very final prize drawing live stream for this month's challenge, we're going to try to go through some of those statistics and do a little roll call of all the countries that have been represented with this challenge. So thank you. I'm going to scroll through the comments for a second here and make sure I don't miss a thing.
Well, some people have said USA, and we thought too, because of the time that we broadcast too, that we would get more USA people. So another thing we may try when we do this again later in the year is we may try a couple different times where we would notify people, so then that way they hear about it. And as you know, the Australians and the Kiwis, they're a day ahead of us. So we might have to kick things off a couple days earlier, so then that way, you know, they're already starting. But I know that USA, we've talked about Canada, that's right. We have a couple Canadians who are on right now. I know we have somebody in Portugal, Australia, Brazil. Right. And
the UK.
UK, that's right. We have a couple in the UK. So that's 6. I'm trying to remember who the last one was. There was one more.
Oh, KK Bricks.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. That's awesome. I mean, just to get all this representation from around the world. And I think also since Brick Princess Buttercup, you're here, I was talking to somebody from Australia on Friday night. And his name is Richard Jones, and apparently he was one of the people to start the minifig habitats. Him and a
Yes.
couple people had started the minifig habitats in Australia, but apparently the guy in the UK is getting all the credit. So the guy, the brick consultant. But he was saying, yeah, somebody told me about the daily brick limit. I mean, do you know who is that? And I said, that's me and Joriel Builds. So, yeah,
Welcome, Brick
it's really,
Snaps.
really funny. Oh, Brick Snaps. Hey, how's it going?
I have to say, since we have I have a Australia participant or two on the stream at the moment, like it's first of all, it helps humble my perspective a little bit for it to still be the 23rd for me and get some 24 posts rolling in. But there were one or two times where someone in Australia was like, I have tomorrow's build done too. And I was like, it was a situation where it was like, it's still the 12th for me, but I'm seeing posts from the 14th here. And it was just like, it's this, from the very beginning, this thing just snowballed so much. And that, I think, really articulated how much it was snowballing for me. There's like, wait a minute, this person's posting two ahead of where we are right now. And it's just mind boggling to me. So
Yeah.
it's been cool to have people from the other side of the globe joining us.
And it's been humbling too that all of you have found this idea that Joriel started with, and I just kind of encouraged him a little bit more to say, let's do this again. And it's just been humbling that all of you have been taking the time to make these builds and to share your stories and your ideas, because that's what I love, is the stories behind all of these. Because people can put bricks together, but unless you know what the story is behind it, then you get to have a much greater appreciation for it. So thank you so much. It is just a blessing.
And we're going into the last 7 days here, like we said at the beginning. So if you tuned in halfway through, we're going into the last 7 days. Best of luck. All you have to do to make sure that you're in the running for the prize, at this point, I'm just going to say, make sure you're following the @DailyBrickLimit account, because the very first post there has all of the rules for entering the prize giveaway for the challenge. And that's everything you need to know is right there. We want to make sure that everybody gets caught up with the requirements so that we can put as many people that participated into the drawing as possible. And we'll let you know sometime in the coming days when we'll be doing our prize giveaway live stream, because it's coming up really close. And we're excited for it. We don't want anyone to miss out. So,
Absolutely. And thank you, Alberto, about how you never know how your ideas will affect others and anything can happen. And I know that I feel just humbled by so many amazing stories and talent here that have all come together because we put out this Daily Brick Limit Challenge. And thank you so much, everybody. It's just been an honor working with all of you.
stay tuned. We will have some more information about some of the other challenges we'll be doing in the coming months. First up for February, for sure, I think we're going to go ahead and lock this in, is do a Valentine's themed 14 brick build that you can share on February 14th. And then also do a February 13th build that shows the behind the scenes that went into making Valentine's Day happen, and post a 13 brick build, a behind the scenes build on the 13th. And that's going to be our first challenge after January's full month-long Daily Brick Limit Challenge is up. You're welcome to participate in the challenge, on your own. But most of our months here on out, we're going to do some smaller challenges until we get to another full month one. So stay tuned for more challenge info and for the post about when our live stream is happening. And then we'll wrap all of this up before we know it. Only 7 more days. So huge thank you to Brickanista for helping bring this back, and for getting the ball rolling with the prizes and everything that she was willing to put up to co-sponsor this and do this again. So Brickanista, thank you.
Sure, thank you for the idea. And also, I will post this video on my YouTube channel, and I'll have to think about what time that we can have the rebroadcast and we can answer questions while the broadcast is going. So it'll be a premiere there. Sometime probably tomorrow afternoon is my guess, because I do have a couple meetings, but looking forward to seeing in a week what this month brings all of us. So it's awesome. Thank you, everybody, for all your
Yes.
support. Thank you, Joriel Builds, for just coming up with the idea back in August. So glad that we were all of us here were part of the launch in 2021. So, oh, Cornado just arrived. Hey,
Welcome,
Cornado.
Cornado.
Yeah. So you are all part of the launch of 2021, the Daily Brick Limit Challenge, and hope we get to see more in the coming months to come.
Chief Brick Geek, thank you. That's awesome. He said, hit me up if you want a prize for the next big one. That would be cool.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll definitely let you know. We'll be in touch.
Maybe we'll take sponsorships.
Yeah.
We were talking about, how could we keep this going, because we're funded solely from ourselves.
Yeah.
So if there are others who want to chip in, or if we find a sponsor out there somewhere, maybe Lego might be willing to sponsor us.
Maybe. We just have to be careful not to
knows?
sell out. We don't want to be like,
we don't want to sell out. But
welcome
I think
to the Gatorade # Daily Brick Limit Challenge. We don't want it to go that direction, but we'd love for other
not
people.
That we don't like Gatorade, but
yes,
we
no
don't want to
problem
have
with Gatorade.
Yeah.
But we do.
Thank you,
We'd
Chief
love to
Brick
have your
Geek.
help sponsoring and putting up prizes and everything. So we'll be in touch with everybody and let you guys know what's on the horizon once this week is over. So thank you.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you again real soon, I'm sure.
Yep. Keep it up. Play well.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.